Hey, friends, what would your life look like if you took 40 days and intentionally changed some really important things in your life? Think about the change that you and I could accomplish over a little over a month, 40 days. We are going to, and this is the first introduction of 40 days of powerful worship experiences at Christ Church of Flagstaff. And if you're listening to our Deep Dive in Five podcast, I am so glad you're watching this on YouTube, you're listening on wherever you listen to podcasts. Please let us know how we can make this better. Please share this with your friends. But we are here at the beginning of 2021 going to spend some time Monday through Friday here on this podcast. And whatever day you have that God will send your way some time to just invest in your own spiritual growth. Some of us, we just feel stagnant, and imagine what would change in your life. Maybe you can't even imagine what would change, but what will happen over these next few weeks, 40 days, is we're just going to ask you to spend 15 minutes each day for these days consecutively, Monday through Friday, catch up on the weekends, whatever is going on there, and experience God through powerful worship. You know, at times during 2020 and this season we're still in with COVID and a pandemic, things just feel like an avalanche of change. We're watching pictures this week in our nation's capital we never thought we'd see. I mean, this season, our culture, our world, our country, our community, things are so hard. They're so challenging. And we just have this like overwhelming despair if we let it. Or we can learn how to move from being stagnant to being connected and our faith and our spirituality growing. And sometimes we can't worship corporately. And sometimes we just have to learn how to feed ourselves spiritually. And for many people, we were used to only doing this on Sunday and we would get what we needed. And as that system has changed and our world has changed and we see so many things, we need to learn how to do powerful worship on our own. And that's what this podcast for the next several episodes is going to be about. It's what we have a devotional. So here, wherever you're listening to this or you're watching this or on our website, ccof.church/2021, the numbers 2021, you will find printed devotionals, these exercises, things we're going to teach through, myself and other people who are part of our team and on the podcast, but we're also going to have a printed devotional that you can follow along and learn and grow and see what God does. And what worship is, we say 40 days of worship experiences. It's not just 40 days of singing songs or whatever you have experienced with worship. See, here's what worship is. Here's where we're defining this. In Revelation chapter 4, John, Jesus' closest friend, he finds himself looking into heaven, looking into the part of reality we can't see. And he says this in chapter 4, verse 2. At once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven and someone sitting on it. Worship is simply anything you and I do, any practice, any thought, any change of thought, any activity, however small or big it might be, that puts God back on that throne. See, in the center of heaven, where John is looking, is the throne. And it's the throne that God sits on. And that picture, I think, applies to you and I and our hearts and our lives. In the center of your heart, in the center of your life, is the throne. And who sits there? And there's only two choices. It's either me, I sit in the center of my own heart, my own throne, I'm the priority of my life, or God is. There's no other options. And worship is anything you do. When you read the Bible, when you think about a verse you memorize, when you pray, when you do sing a song, whether it's here at our church building in a service or just in your car or with your AirPods in, it's when you serve someone in need. It's when you give your resources to an organization that needs it or a person who needs it. It's anything you do that puts God back in the center of your life. Because he's always in the center of the universe. He's always in the center of heaven. But he lets me decide who's in the center of my life. When I forego a meal and do things like fasting, when I spend time connected to Jesus, when I talk to a friend about Jesus, see, these are the things we're going to do in a very intentional way, in a very intentional rhythm for the next 40 days together, we're going to be challenged to worship daily through specific practices like journaling and prayer and meditation and fasting, connecting with others, because these things put God back in the center of their worship. So here's what I want you to do. I hope you'll find this time helpful. So share it with others, talk to your friends, your family members, let them know what we're doing. Let them join us as we start this year doing what is going to be the most helpful, worshiping God powerfully. Here's what I want you to do. Here's some action. And go to ccof.church/2021, get the devotional, start having that sent to you. Get those each day, the printed devotionals. And here's the action for our beginning, this introduction. I want you to put some time in your calendar. Powerful worship is even more powerful when it's done consistently. Maybe for you, it's going to be the first 15, 20 minutes of your day. Maybe you're going to take your lunch break and do these worship experiences with us the end of your day. Whatever it is, I want you to go get out your calendar, your phone, your tablet, wherever you keep it. Maybe you're old school, you got it on paper. And I want you to commit every Monday through Friday. If you can find a specific time, put it in. And I want you to spend some time praying, asking God right now to guide you in this season. And that any of the places you find yourself spiritually stagnant, would you, as we jump into this journey, go get the devotional on the website, look at it, and spend some time praying. God, where am I stagnant? Where is it you want me to grow, to connect with you through worship these next 40 days? And I want you to find a journal, something just you're right with. I just get a cheap Moleskine, the little cashier book that's lined, and I use those. It lasts me 3 or 4 months usually. And what is it you need? Spiral, paper, a note on your phone or your tablet. Just start putting together the supplies you need. You need your Bible, a journal, something to write with, something to type on, and ask God, what is it he wants us to do? Where does he want us to grow? How can we become less stagnant spiritually? How can you lean into these next 40 days? I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll share this with anyone you know that needs it. Thank you so much.